Good evening, everybody. Today is Monday, March 28th, 2016. It's 6:30 p.m. Chairman Sullivan is excused for this evening. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item number 2 is acceptance of minutes. We have the Board of Selectmen minutes of March 14th, 2016. Mr. Fox?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes for the Board of Selectmen's meeting March 14th, 2016, and accept them as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fox, seconded by Mr. Ruda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, 3-0. And I think Mr. Joseph will be joining us, but just not at the moment.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Ruda?
make a motion to approve, to accept the executive minutes of 3/14/2016, not to release at this time.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ruda, seconded by Mr. Fox. Discussion? That's the right thing to do. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, under Section 3 is appointments and resignations. The Dudley Housing Authority, we had a dual appointment for Ruth Hurd. The Dudley Housing Authority wanted to appoint her to their housing authority with a term to expire June 13, 2016.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to, what is this dual appointment?
Because it's an elected, elected
Okay.
position, they've already made their recommendation.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we act upon the recommendation of the Dudley Housing Authority to appoint Ruth Hurd to the Dudley Housing Authority with a term to expire 6/13/2016.
Motion by Mr. Ruda,
Second with a comment.
seconded by Mr. Fox. Go ahead, Peter.
Was the meeting finally posted and voted on properly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll call that one to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, Ruth. Next up, the Dudley Highway Department wants to finalize an appointment for a laborer, Luke Aslan. Danny, you here? Luke here?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I don't see Luke here tonight. The last I knew, he was being set up for a physical. I don't know what the results of that physical were. Mr. Aslan was one of the final 2 finalists the last time a few months ago. He wasn't given a job with someone in town first. It didn't work out for that number 1 candidate. He left the highway department. Excuse me. And Luke was a very, very good candidate. So I'd like to see him put on pending his passing of his physical.
Is that the last requirement, is the physical?
Yes, I believe Michelle did the Corey check already.
Okay. He's had his Cory check?
So it's just a physical? Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we appoint Luke Aslan to the Dudley Highway Department pending the successful passing of his physical.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ruda, second by Mr. Fox. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call that to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Thanks, Danny. Welcome, Luke. Look, hopefully we'll see you soon. Next up is Danny might as well stay there. Buildings and Grounds Department. We have a part-time laborer we'd like to appoint, James Tebow.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Tebow, the young man came to see me probably last August, beginning of September, looking for a part-time job. He's funding himself through school. Right now he's going to Quinsigamon College and hopes to transfer to Nichols later on. I told him at that time we didn't really have anything and to come back in the spring, and which he did. He did come in, we sat down with Greg. Right now his schedule allows him to work mid-morning to afternoons. The job is only 19 hours a week. There's completely no benefits at all. And would also like to put him down probably at the recycling center when the coordinator is out, simply because it's a non-union position, a part-time. I don't have to put a highway guy down there on the Saturday. I have to pay him overtime. This way here, he'd just get his regular rate of pay, and the rate of pay is $14 an hour.
Okay. Questions for Danny?
We were discussing at one time, or maybe the library was discussing having a full-time person down there. Is that still
Well, what
on?
happened with this one, there used to be 2 laborers on the Buildings and Grounds. and the library has their own custodian now.
Okay.
So we eliminated that full-time position at the Buildings and Grounds and just made it a part-time position. We never did fill it from last July 1st until now.
So that's being paid from the library's budget, or?
Yes, you are correct. The library had hired a person, and it didn't work out. So they have gone to a contract service, and the contractor service is included in the library budget, not in the highway department budget.
Okay, all right.
So my question, Dan, so what's the length of term of this? Since, is Hector coming back? Is it, 'cause I know is he
Hector
back?
is back.
Oh,
They
is it in
used-
addition to Hector? Okay, well, I didn't hear.
Yeah, in
he was
addition,
back.
Dennis and there used to be Dennis and two
Perfect,
other
all right.
employees. Right now, it's just
This
Dennis
is
and one
additive.
employee.
I want to make sure we're
Yeah,
clear.
so we have a position budgeted, it's not filled,
Okay.
and so this fills the position that was included in the budget.
We basically made that position full-time down to part-time.
Perfect. That'd be-
Danny, at the bottom of his application, I see he has a OSHA 10-hour certification.
Yep.
That's not part of the job description, is it?
No, that's just something he acquired.
something
from
extra.
himself. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the appointment of James Tebow to be part-time laborer for the Building and Grounds Department.
Motion by Mr. Ruda. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Fox. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call that to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous? Thank you, Danny.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, James. Glad you're here. Item 3D, the Board of Health has a part-time clerk position they'd like to fill as well. See, I like to see that we're adding to our staff again, 4 things tonight. Teresa Woodford. Teresa, come on up. Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
You'd like to tell everybody about yourself and what brought you to apply for the role?
I live in Dudley. I've lived here for almost 20 years. I own a small business in town. I needed something to fill a little extra space, a little extra time in my life, and I was friends with someone on the Board of Health. He asked me to come in and help out on a temporary basis, and I loved it. So I'm very excited to be here.
Hey, wonderful, awesome.
I'll make a motion that we appoint to the Board of Health part-time clerk position Teresa Woodford.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fox, seconded by Mr. Ruda. Anything else? Any discussion? Call that to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
aboard,
you.
and we wish you the best.
Yes.
Nope, I just want to thank Teresa for being here, but I do have one addition to appointments and resignations, and it's for the town clerk assistant. As you know, Aura had a change in her staff, and there was interviews that were conducted between Aura, myself, and the chairman of the Personnel Board, at the same time that the Board of Health position was interviewed for. And at that time, we reached a consensus to recommend appointment of Jacqueline Phelps. Jacqueline is a Webster resident, and she would be for the position called Town Clerk Assistant. And it didn't get onto the agenda because both Michelle and I were out on Friday. So it's not because it came in late, it's just that we were not here and were not available on Friday. And I'd like to get it before the board because of the fact that if we wait another couple of weeks, we could lose a very good candidate. And as you know, Aura is gearing up for the presidential election in November and feels that it's important to get someone under the belt who can be seasoned with the position. So that would be Aura and I's recommendation that you consider the appointment of Jacqueline Phelps as the part-time town clerk assistant.
Greg, can we vote on that since it wasn't posted, or?
Yes, because it was, we have appointments and resignations listed on the agenda.
Okay.
And,
Oh, so to talk about that.
So
Okay.
I feel that, given the circumstances that I described, that if you wish to entertain it, I think it's something that the board could actually.
Do you have a start date in mind?
I don't. I don't have a start date in mind. She's got a person who is winding down in her office, and I think she wants to have a seamless transition where a person will leave the position and the person will be coming on board immediately.
Okay.
Okay. Through the chair, both her and Teresa, have you had a physical?
No, not yet.
Okay, and Cory check?
Cory check.
Okay, because Cory checks are required by everybody.
Yeah, and I apologize, Teresa, it's,
I don't know. I
this
think
is a separate position, so.
so. Okay.
And it should have been on the agenda, but it just wasn't.
Okay, motion by Mr. Fox. In a second.
I'm a little nervous about seconding it without having been properly posted. I'd be willing to come back and do another meeting just for that, for the purpose of that appointment.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Sure.
And I'll withdraw the motion.
Okay, motion withdrawn. Maybe we'll do a quick meeting. As long as we get three of us, we can do
We
that.
could do that any night this week.
Why not? I think we can do that. Maybe safe than sorry.
As a work group, maybe?
Okay. All right. That's it for appointments and resignations. Thank you, Teresa. Welcome. Item 4 is public comments, citizens' comments. Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to speak on anything that's not currently on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have no public hearings. Then we get into number 6, which is licensing and permits. We have a few from St. Andrew Bobola Church. One-day all alcohol license for Saturday, April 9th, 2016, from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., and Sunday, April 10th, 2016, from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., located in the Church Hall at 54 West Main Street for the annual spring dance. Anybody here from St. Andrew?
Good evening. My name is David Bugaiski. I'm here on behalf of St. Andrew Bobola Church, and so there's 2 applications that I've submitted on behalf of the church for a one-day license to serve alcohol. The first event is for a spring dance that we have scheduled for Saturday, April 9th, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And the second is for our summer festival, Friday and Saturday, August 26th and August 27th.
You want to vote on this one first?
Yeah, let's do the liquor one first, because this one's tied to that one. Okay, so we have the first one on Sunday, April 10th. Chief, any issues?
Ninth.
No, the only thing I was going to say is I believe it's for the 9th, because there's 2 dates listed on there, it's 9th and 10th, so I think it's only the 9th that's the question.
Oh, because of 12, okay, got
I
it.
spoke to Mr. Bogaski today, so there shouldn't be any issues from our end, and we will talk further.
Okay, motion by Mr. Fox, to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ruda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. And then the second one was for the all alcohol license on Friday, August 26th, correct?
And 27th.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday
the
and
26th
Saturday.
Friday
And
and
the
Saturday.
27th. 2
Okay.
days.
Okay, 11 a. So Friday is 4:30 p.m. to 11:30, and Saturday is 11 to 11:30.
I have no issues, I spoke with Ms. McCormick, and we work out police coverage and everything for that, as we have in the past.
Perfect.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the liquor license by Mr. Ruda.
Second?
Second by Mr. Fox. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now, along with that is the one-day outdoor entertainment license for the Friday, August 26th, and Saturday. It's actually 2 days. For the parish festival to be held on the church grounds.
Yes.
Anything you can tell us about that, Nancy?
It's just going to be, but it's always, like it's always been, a polka band playing, and we'll have raffles and Polish food, American food, just kind of like we've done before.
You've held these before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a lot of years.
So
We haven't,
moved.
we did a one-day one last year, and we hadn't done any for the 4 years before that.
Okay.
But we have done them for
Right.
years before that, so this is only Friday and Saturday, it's not going to be Sunday.
Okay.
No problems, chief?
No.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Fox. Second by Mr. Ruda. Any more discussion? Hearing none. Call it to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous? Thank you. And we'll have some stuff to sign in a minute. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Get it?
I have a couple checks. I'll leave these
Oh,
with
got all that,
Michelle.
Michelle, yeah, make that.
And Michelle, here's the one for the entertainment. I also have a request, I don't know, I think it was listed, I request to use the use of the town hall parking lot for parking. Like we've done that
We've done it in the past too,
past as
Chief,
well.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't have a problem with that. Okay.
I don't have any issues with that.
It's on Friday night and Saturday, so there's no office hours.
Do you
I'm
want us-
okay with that.
Do you want us to vote on that, Craig, or?
Yeah, I think it's important to do so.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we'll allow St. Andrew Bowl Church to use the town hall parking lot for their event.
Motion by Mr. Fox,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Ruda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, great.
Pause to sign some stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little old. This one says I'm still chairman.
It says I'm vice chairman.
Great. Those. Thank you. Okay, Nichols College is here. Lynn Luby, come on up, Lynn. They have 3 one-day wine and malt licenses. The first is Monday, April 18th, 2016, from 5:30 to 9 p.m., located in the new academic building for Senior Women Wine Night. Okay, you have all the paperwork here, Michelle, for those. Chief, any issues?
No, I spoke with Mr. Blueby, and we'll talk it over with public safety if there's any issues.
Perfect. Okay, what's the board's pleasure on this one?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Fox, seconded by Mr. Ruda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. And Friday, April 29th, 2016, from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m., located in the Chalmers Fieldhouse Aerobics Room for a Board of Advisors meeting.
Second. Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Ruda, seconded by Mr. Fox. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. And 3 is Saturday, July 16, 2016, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., located in the Fels Student Center for the annual golf tournament reception.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? None, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, unanimous. All right, good. That was easy, Lynn, right?
Thank you very much.
Welcome, sign these for you. Go, Peter. And final. All right. That's it.
7A was on the...
Oh, it was on the agenda. Oh, okay, we did it right there, right. That's, I think I read that earlier. So, Mr. Kovic was right to take that out of order. So under other stuff under public business, we have the town planner position coming up for a vote, 7B. I think I saw the chairman of the planning board here. He's not here anymore.
I can address it in his absence.
Okay, Greg.
So the planning board met last Thursday. Mr. Fox and I attended their meeting, and the board did vote to endorse the new job description, and also voted that the position for fiscal year 2017 would be part-time with a maximum salary of $40,500. And there would also be a clerk who would be responsible for preparation of the meeting minutes, also part-time with an annual salary of $2,000. And all the parties that were present felt that those were the appropriate actions to be taken. I ask you to so endorse those.
So move, I'll endorse that recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fox, seconded by Mr. Ruda. Discussion?
What was the final title of the position?
Town planner.
Okay.
So the position was revision to the existing job description. What was the major changes were incorporation of duties related to economic development and also grant writing. And those are included in the job description, and those are really the major thrusts behind it.
Guy, anything to add? We're in
Oh,
discussion.
Guy, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Call it. Sorry, my phone came up.
No, well, the planning board voted at the last meeting. Town administrator was present at the last meeting. We voted on the, both the job description and that a part-time person would be adequate to fill the need for right now. We're going to leave it up to the Board of Selectmen and the town administrator to decide whether they want to make it a part-time position with just Dudley or a part-time position with another town. That's up to you, because obviously if you'd go with another town, the person would be working full-time, so you'd have to pay the additional benefits. So it's up to the Board of Selectmen what they want to do there. So right now, like I said before, we were getting, with Central Mass Regional Planning, we're getting about 40 hours per month in service, and everything that needs to be done is getting done. So if we have somebody for 75 or 76 hours a month, that's almost double what we're currently getting, and we should have no problem doing the planning
Okay.
board work, and there should be some additional time for the economic development interest. And we did agree with the job description change that the person would take day-to-day supervision from the town administrator.
Okay.
So we modified that job description a little bit, giving the town administrator daily oversight?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we envision this position to interact with the Economic Development Committee?
Right now, from what I understand, the Economic Development Committee is not active.
The Economic Development Committee has been disbanded.
By whom?
Chairman of the Economic Development Committee. They haven't met in more than... I used to attend every meeting that they had, and they haven't had meetings in...
First I've heard
Is that
that.
the case?
They haven't met since probably sometime in the fall.
Right. So we're the appointing authority, how can they disband without
That's what I
us
was
having
just
it
gonna ask.
They
included?
just haven't had, I guess they, not technically disbanded, they just haven't been meeting.
Can we put that on the next agenda?
Yes, please.
So when we reestablish the Economic Development Committee, how do we,
This person would be a member of that committee, so they would be at the meetings, and they would get their input from the Economic Development Committee, what they would like them to work on, or what they would like he or she to work on.
okay,
And then
Yeah.
if they needed any oversight, they could either talk to the planning board or to Greg, or to the Economic Development Committee, depending on what it entails.
okay. Do we know when their term expired?
I don't.
Can we look into that too, to see if it's expired, then we can put it back up for, put it on for discussion, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna start from scratch.
I mean, I think it's going to depend on the person that we get for the position. You know, if we can get a person that has experience in it from the past, obviously they're going to be very well suited to come in and kind of hit the ground running and you know, do what needs to be done, or try to, you know, do what's requested of them from the Economic Development Committee and from the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, I mean, Selectman Ruda is absolutely correct. I probably misspoke. It has not been officially disbanded. It's just that they have not had meetings for quite some time, because I was a selectman's representative to that committee, and they just stopped having meetings. So it's a good suggestion to relook at that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. We're in discussion for voting on the current and recommended job description for the town planner position. Any other discussion on that? None, so we'll call that to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Thank you, Guy, for all your help with that.
Thank you.
Greg,
Thank you.
your hard work putting that together. All right. 7C, Rich Haleva, our Veterans Agent, wants to talk about the Perryville Road Bridge and dedicate it to Dudley Webster Public Safety, which includes police, fire, and emergency personnel. This is just a discussion for today. Greg?
I can't see if Rich is here or not.
It's not.
No, not here.
Unfortunately, with that podium there, I can see everything but the seats that are directly behind it. Give me a second.
Yep, no problem.
Please refer to the letter from Rich that was in your packet,
Okay.
indicating that he'd like to have a board's consideration for renaming of the bridge to, for the purposes of honoring public safety personnel, Webster and Dudley.
Peter?
What did they ask? I'm sorry.
They want to rename it. Looks like they sent it to,
To rename it?
yeah, right? It doesn't actually have a name right now.
I don't believe it has a name at this point.
This is the new one they just rebuilt, or
There's
this?
a bridge right down here, the
Right.
end of
The new-
Lower Perryville, I believe. Is that correct, Michelle?
That's correct.
The new one that they redid?
Yeah.
as well? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this, but I would have liked to have heard from Rich
Yeah, me
and
too.
heard his comments.
Yeah.
Can we recommend that we postpone this to our next meeting and see if we can get Rich to discuss it with us? And we'll have the other two selectmen here also.
Yep. And yeah, it looks like there's some issue, I think he sent it to some people who are committee chairmen in the Mass Senate and House, who are not our representatives, so, yeah, I want to see what Rich has already done on that. Good idea, Peter.
If we could, is it going to be named, or is it going to be, in other words, are we approving a name for it, or are we approving dedication for it, or I think we need to just kind of
It sounds like,
fine tune that a little bit.
sounds like we need to start the process.
Okay.
That the process can't be initiated without the Board of Selectmen in Webster and Dudley indicating that they wish to have the bridge named to honor police officers, firefighters, and all emergency personnel in those communities. And then, once that's done, we would transmit a letter to our representative in the legislature and ask them to sponsor a bill accordingly.
So we'll take no action at this time.
Okay. Good. Thank you, guys. All right, Chief Wayner, come on up. This is a potentially sensitive topic. We're reviewing potential violations at a couple of liquor establishments that serve alcohol in Dudley.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I believe you have a letter I gave the
Do.
board last week for your consideration, so I don't need to get into the facts of it at this point. Basically, the reasoning behind it was the board received a complaint in regards to one establishment, and there had also been a couple complaints about another establishment, so we did some looking into these cases. There were some that are still, matters that are still pending. So what I had done was I had basically summarized the incidents in question that we have. These have all occurred since either December to the current date. And so you can look over those. I guess what we'd probably want you to do is at one of your upcoming meetings, perhaps schedule a public hearing on these matters, and we can discuss all the details further at that point. So you can take this letter under advisement at this time and then schedule a future hearing. And I believe the license holders would have to be notified, and they can show up at that time and address any issues that are brought forward.
Peter?
Chief, the owners of these establishments, are they aware of that we're looking into these?
I am not sure if they're aware of it or not. I haven't contacted them personally, so
Okay.
I am not sure if they're aware, but I believe whenever you decide to have a hearing on this, they'll be notified and given probably a copy of this letter so that they're aware of it and can prepare their rebuttal to anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to put this on the next agenda, if that works with your time frame, Chief.
That's fine. What was the meeting date on that? That the
I'll have
11th? Okay. That's fine.
Okay,
Proper notice and everything.
Chief, I will not be able to attend that meeting, and normally Chairman Sullivan does not participate in those, so you would have to make sure that all the remaining three are certainly here to discuss that. My wife and I will be traveling.
Okay, that's good to know, Peter. Yeah, my thought on this, guys, is, we've had other establishments in here when they've had similar or just other incidents, and I think it's worth it that we come to them and let them explain it to us. Okay? So, yeah, if we could do that. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks for putting that together. Okay. Our student representative, Alex, is here. Hi, Alex. Morning. For us tonight.
You're quiet tonight, Alex. You don't have your pot?
I have Paul here.
Everyone's been chatting with me.
Right?
So, I don't really have too much for you guys now that we're kind of like winding down. I mean, we're settling into almost the fourth quarter. Grades close next Friday in the third quarter, and then we'll be getting into finals. Seniors will be getting to finals before everybody else because graduation's on the 5th. of June. And the main thing that's going to be happening at the school in the next few weeks is that on this Wednesday we have about 50 to 60 kids participating in the blood drive with the American Red Cross throughout the entire day.
Okay. Good.
That's really
So senioritis is setting in?
you can't let it sink in until you're fully done.
I'm gonna say it's still March, it's
because
still early.
you still have to you still
Finals.
need to get those grades because the colleges are still coming in.
Yeah,
They still watch. It's not that you send in that deposit and they know that, all right, I got my spot. They still watch.
That's right. Thanks, Alex. Okay, board member comments? Peter, anything?
Yes, I just want to remind the board members that we have a joint meeting with Charlton Thursday night at 6:30 to discuss the budget, and as many of us as possible should attend with the administrator and the finance committee.
Thank you, Peter.
That's a pretty important meeting.
Where is it held?
Charlton Middle School,
That's right.
6:30?
Yeah. 6:30.
To look at some childcare. Jay, anything?
So why don't we reschedule item 3D for that meeting? Would that work?
That would work.
Can we put it right on the agenda? and
We can.
Smash it through?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
What are we going to do?
The appointment.
The appointment from the town clerk. About this one, time that we pushed off.
Okay.
It's a good idea, Jay.
Good idea.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I don't have any comments tonight. Town administrator, Jack, Greg?
Yep, sure. So I've given the board a copy of my budget recommendations for fiscal year 2017, the line item detail. The municipal budget is up under 1%, so it's $71,693, which is about 0.9%. So it's a very modest increase on the town side, and that's pretty typical based upon what we envision in terms of the town's ability to pay and what its revenue structure is. Departments have demonstrated that there are certain needs, and if there are additional monies that become available going through the budget prior to the town meeting on May 23rd, we'll make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen and the FAA to add money back in. The school budget, as the board had indicated, we've included a 2.5% increase. That 2.5% increase for education is an increase of $244,106. And as Selectman Fox indicated, we have a very important meeting with the regional schools coming up on Thursday. So from the town's perspective, the budget is done. We've included what we consider to be modest increases in all of the budgets and based upon what we can afford. And oftentimes there are tough decisions made around what we can truly afford. And in this case, it's about 1%. And that's what the budget reflects. I would be more than happy to go through them in detail with you if you have any questions. But when you're dealing with a 1% increase on an overall budget, the line items don't change very much.
Okay, well, at least it's not level funded, right?
Right, and there are no layoffs that are contemplated, but as you can imagine, there are also no new positions that are contemplated either.
Okay. We've had a couple incrementals recently, so that's good for now, but we'll keep working. Okay. Anything else, Greg?
Just a acknowledgement of a lawsuit that's in your packet. It was filed by a Thomas J. Clark, claims personal injury due to a slip and fall incident at Joshua Place on January 2015. Without commenting on the case, the complaint was forwarded to town council and the town's insurer for legal defense. Want to acknowledge and thank Senator Fatman for a meeting we recently had on a range of issues. Chief among them is freeing up this federal disaster money that was due to the town from the January 2015 snowstorm in the amount of $37,694, and as I've heard, the check is in the mail. Lastly, just to mention that the town clerk has provided a listing of elected offices to be filled at the annual town election on June 13th, and there are related deadlines that are associated with that. I will not read it, but I would like to post it out to the town's website so that any potential candidate or resident is aware. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Okay. Departments. Danny, anything?
All set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Danny. Dean? Chief?
Just have a drug take back on April 30th, so I had some stuff in the paper on it this week. So I won't-
Okay, good, drug take back. Excellent. All right. That's it. Anything else, guys, before we,
I would ask for a brief executive session.
okay? And Jay, you want to lead us into executive?
I'll make a motion that we move into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21, 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real estate. If the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body, not to reconvene in normal session.
Motion by Mr. Ruda, seconded by Mr. Fox. Roll call vote, please.
Ron Ruda, aye.
John Marcy, aye.
Peter Fox, aye.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Take care.